Flight 2, go ahead.
I can't breathe! I can't breathe! I can't breathe! I can't breathe! Say his name! George Floyd! I can't breathe! I can't breathe! I can't breathe! I can't breathe! Say his name! George Floyd! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot!
The number you have dialed has been changed. The new number is 911. Please note, the new number is.
So what would you say this protest means to you?
All the things that have been going on is sort of like boiling over of several different kinds of frustrations in the country, you know?
And what would you say those are? Some of those, briefly.
First and foremost, obviously, that Black lives do matter. For some reason, that's controversial and needs to be said and protested about. But now it's also that a lot of the Black lives in particular have been damaged by this pandemic. Either they're forced into quote unquote essential work at terrible wage, forced out of jobs. What little opportunity people had is gone, you know? And now, even the people who had jobs, that's out. So here they are, you know? It's decades and decades and decades of this. We read about this in second, third, fourth grade. Here we are, nearly 30, and it's happening again, you know? I think people are just tired of it.
This means my life, man. I have nephews. I mean, my father, my grandfather. We've been going through this for 400 years. So now this is the time for change. I'm tired of dealing with the BS. I'm tired of dealing with racism. I'm tired of dealing with just not being treated equally. You know, I deserve that. I was born with that right, especially as a child of God. So yeah, this protest means my life to me, man. Every day. I'm gonna keep fighting every single day.
I would say we're out here to protest and make sure that everyone knows that Black Lives Matter. I think that's basically the main thing. We're protesting police brutality and
kind of just protesting equality and just showing that we're not going to be
complacent and quiet. There becomes a tipping point with everyone, and I think that this is the tipping point. George Floyd's murder was the tipping point, and I think that everyone out here supports Black lives and supports equality and just ending systematic oppression and racism.
It means that we're setting some policies together. I mean, we come to protest time and time again, but this one is different because we're talking about solutions. And so what if this happens again? How will we hold the police officers accountable? And what we're talking about is stuff to put in writing. We're talking about policies, legislation, or ordinances that are gonna hold the police officers accountable next time, if there's a next time.
What would you encourage other people to do besides protest in order to get things done?
I mean, you have to vote, for starters. I know the system is corrupt, but there's no way to fudge hundreds of millions of votes. It just won't happen, and they can't get around that. If you get off the ass and you go to the voting booth, behind that, know who your representatives are, know their names, hold them accountable. How are they supposed to account for the crimes against their public if we literally don't know who they are or who their staff is? After that, we need to organize here. Know the names of the people who are your medics. Know the names of the people who are organizing your census, your voter registration, your news outlets. After that, make sure that the people who are close to you are good. Offer people jobs. You know what I mean? Like, I'm saying, like, it's everything. It's right down to the way you treat the next person that you see at the train station. If you see somebody being hurt by the police, don't just drive by, don't just walk by.
Just let your voice be heard. It don't matter how you do it, whether it's posting on social media. I seen somebody do a silent Zoom protest, but let your voice be heard. Even when it's people speaking out against it in public, let them know that they're in the wrong. Stop letting people get away with ignorance. Speak up. That's it. Just speak up.
The first thing, I don't care what everyone says, but I think posting on your social media is the first thing you can do. Linking donation centers, petitions to sign. I think the main thing is having the conversations, whether you're white, you're black, it doesn't matter the race, just talking about it. And they might be uncomfortable conversations, but you need to be heard, and everyone needs to talk about it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's okay if everybody has different views, but in the end, racism is racism.
This is not a politics issue.
Yeah.
It's a humanity issue.
Call their senators, call their the city council members, school board members, vote. Because as you can see, if you look out in the crowd today, you don't see many elected officials, if any, and that says a lot about what they stand for. Now, granted, there's a pandemic going on nationally, and I recognize that, and some of them have expressed their support and their concern. But there are others who have not said anything yet. And for Dallas to have a black school board president, black mayor, black city manager, black district attorney, several black judges, I think we should be making a lot more noise nationally than we are now.